We're about to give this nasty old TV stand a much needed makeover. We found it on Marketplace for $40, but I still think we spent $40 too much. You can see the veneer is like in terrible shape. Plus it's just missing this entire side. It was left outside in the rain for months and had a lot of water damage, which is especially bad for a particle board piece like this. So the first thing we did was disassemble as much as we could so that we would have better access to it. There we go. You see any of that? Holy cow. So this was one of the grosser pieces we've done, and that's saying a lot considering that we work with actual garbage. I mean, it was sitting outside. This was shot a couple weeks ago, and I had wanted this to be a quick and easy flip since the holidays are coming up, but I'm soon realizing that I have my work cut out for me with this one. Oh my god. Oh, this is so gross. As the new year approaches, and with Christmas just passing, it feels like we can finally take a breather from all the holiday chaos. Now, don't get me wrong, because I love Christmas time. It's a time full of love and family togetherness, but the big question that has been looming over us all these past few weeks, can I get everything done in time? And for me, thanks to productivity classes over on Skillshare, I've been getting a lot better at organizing everything I need to do so that I actually have time to enjoy the holidays. Skillshare is an online learning community that offers an almost endless range of classes from workflow organization, productivity, content creation, and so much more. Right now, we're exploring a productivity class led by Thomas Frank, who is an author and YouTuber himself. I've honestly always kind of struggled with staying on top of everything, but these classes help me stay organized so that I'm not stressing out or scrambling at the last minute, especially during the busy holiday season. Now, before you commit to a class, you can see how it's rated by community members, you can read the reviews, and there's even a discussion tab where you can have conversations with the video creators themselves. As you can see, there's a ton of different categories, so whatever you're into, there's gonna be something that's right for you. Here's to self-betterment for all of us in 2025. Thank you to each and every one of you for supporting our channel, and thank you to Skillshare for sponsoring this video. The first 500 people to use my link in the description will receive a 1-month free trial of Skillshare, so get started today. Now back to the video. We flipped it on its back, saw how dirty it was underneath, so of course that had to go.
Disgusting.
Next thing to do is take apart the base, and a lot of times it's just screwed in and you can just take it apart that way, so that's what we're hoping for here. There's so much.
So it's just glued. Hey, nice.
To no one's surprise, it was glued in, and it turns out the trim was MDF, so we had to chip it away for 2 years. A lot of this is going to be cut off anyway, so all this messiness is just going to be gone. So this looks like it's solid, and then all this is just sawdust. How would you do that?
Oh.
Yep. This smaller trim right here was solid wood, but it was also glued on as well as nailed in, so that was also really fun. Oh, that's the one. Looks like this. Whoa. Stop.
There we go.
Yeah, get it in there. Okay.
Okay, so we can see what we need to trim off now.
So here I'm just deciding how much I want to take off the bottom. But before we can make the cut, we're flattening the surface with a chisel so that the saw won't get caught on these little bits.
Good job. Nice cut.
Yeah, easier than a jigsaw, that's for sure. I'm just continuing the line here from the cut that I just made from the front, using the speed square to mark out my other line.
Very nice. There we go.
For the back cut, we used a strip of tape as a guide, and Kendall's gonna cut along the edge of it. Go for it. Oh, you're inside the block, maybe.
I don't even know if this is strong enough to make the cut.
It was strong enough to cut the other thing.
It's true. Still know how to charge.
Hey, how's that?
Do you expect any less? Huh?
Look at that. Met up perfectly. You better like.
Just. Oh! Oh!
It's like the entire thing is just raised, swollen, disfigured.
Oh, here. It's gonna be a lot of filling.
Now that we're finally done with the prep before the prep, we can start cleaning. I'm using Simple Green and a drill brush to scrub it down good. Next, I'm going to smooth down all the water damage. The goal here is to get through to the particle board underneath since that's what's swollen. This is all particle board that I've sanded down. And even now, it's still not completely flat. It's going to be hard for you to see, but actually there's not too bad. But down further. Kind of regretting getting this piece. I guess we have to tough it out. The next day, I came back to do some more flattening, but this time I went over everything to give it a scuff sand. Put some glue, just a light layer on the particle board side. The glue is to seal in all the chipboard to make it more solid and just not so crumbly. Sounds so fun. This entire side of the veneer has just been, I don't know, taken off, damaged, whatever. Front side has a bunch of bubbles, so I'm gonna take this off as well. Reese! Oh yeah, see, look at this. Good on. Bondo. So I'm going to put the Bondo all over the top where the particle board is showing just to smooth it out and make sure that it doesn't swell anymore. Of glue. Also on the edges to smooth them out.
It seems okay.
The bottoms were completely wrecked from all the demo that we did, so we had to fix that as well. And so while that's drying, we can start working on the doors. There was something sticky and waxy that wouldn't even come off with our degreaser, so I just took a chisel to it. Just get the other things ready too. And so by the time I was done cleaning and scuffing, it was getting cold and pretty late, so I called it a day. Okay, so it's the next day now. We're sanding down all the Bondo that we put down earlier to make it nice and flat. And after that, it's time to prime. So I was gonna prime this one and these ones. These are just like the shelf, but I think I can only do this one right now because if you look, there's like the veneer that's kind of peeling off, so I want to just fix that first. I'm gonna be using Kilz today. It's an oil-based primer, which is perfect for us to seal in any exposed veneer or particle board. Too after it's dry. The primer dried really rough on us, so we're just hitting it with the sander. We had to do so many rounds of filler since this entire thing is made of sawdust. Priming! We switched primers and used a roller on the other loose parts. There's still a bunch of grain that's open all over the top just from where I sanded through. Joint compound. Now when all the filler is dry, I'm going over it really lightly because this stuff sands down quick. And at this point, everything's been coated with primer, which took a long time since we had to do both sides of the shelves and the doors. Now we can finally start painting. We chose a warm cream color and we're going to be doing a combination of rolling and spraying. Pretty good progress. We got the backboard done. We got one of the shelves done. Those are primed. That's another shelf. And this is the middle shelf. Still have to load up the gun and do the body. After the coat's on, we're gonna let that dry and come out tomorrow for the next coat. Good. A nice day where we can actually work outside. I really prefer working outside since we can spray without worrying about getting all our inside stuff dirty, but working outside does come with its downsides, and you'll see what I mean in a second. Do you see this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 in a matter of like 2 minutes.
All right.
Base day. We're using an oak 1x3. As I said, we're using oak 1x3s for the apron and oak 2x2s for the legs. It's gonna be a pretty straightforward build. So we just got this miter saw for just over $100, which is a steal, but the dust collection, yeah, there's no dust collection. Now for the legs. 5 inches. Sorry, I'm left-handed. We have this Kreg jig here. Kendall's gonna put in some
Bucket holes
to join the pieces with. So these are all 3 parts to our base. We are not gonna have a back apron. and it really helps to clamp your pieces down to something to keep everything flush and square. And I'm being really careful here not to overdrive the screw.
There you go!
Okay, route it. We're gonna give the base a round over just to minimize like that blocky look. Next, we'll do a coat of diluted oil poly, essentially making our own wipe-on poly. So this is just going to darken the wood and also give it some protection. And once that was dry, we brought all the pieces inside to assemble everything back together. Dipping in here. But before I show you the reveal, let's take it back to the beginning. It was so outdated, the base left a lot to be desired, we had a lot of missing veneer, and it was the dirtiest piece I've ever seen. And on top of all that, the water damage was insane and enough to make me cry. But after pouring our blood, sweat, and tears into this thing, I really like how it came out. So that's all from me today. Thank you so much for being here. Leave a comment and subscribe if you haven't already. I hope the holidays have treated you well, and we will see you in 2025 here on Holly's Garage. Happy New Year, everybody.